Girl aggro. Good, clean, efficient fun. I think this deck is one of the big reasons why Field of the Dead is not overbearing in this format. I think this deck is a big part of why Nexus of Fate is not overbearing in this format. Questing Beast has a lot of text in his text box, and I think it's very clear that this card was printed as an answer to things like Field of the Dead and Nexus of Fate, and I think it does an excellent job of doing that. I think in addition to Questing Beast, you also have Embercleave that lets you go over Field of the Dead zombies. Let's go ahead and pop into some matches here and get a little smashy, huh? Hey, Kevin Devino, thanks for the 5 months. Welcome back. With a Mac client on the horizon, does that mean Linux will also be supported? Almost certainly not, Jin. So, not only do companies tend to add OS X support without Linux support fairly commonly, but Wizards is releasing the OS X version, I believe, through the Epic Games launcher, which supports OS X, but not Linux. Linux is like Steam's thing. I also like don't really need an official Linux client. Like the Unity application runs fine through Wine. It's really not an issue. Think Zhur-Taa Goblin is only playable because BTE exists, or is it solid on its own? No, I don't think Zhur-Taa Goblin is a particularly good Magic card on average. I'm not that into programming, but is it really hard to make a program work in different operating systems? Depends on a lot of factors. Applications like Magic Arena tend to not be that difficult on average, but there's complications that can come up depending on what your backend libraries are. So Arena is written in what's called the Unity graphics engine, which is fully cross-platform and portable. It's one of the reasons why it's very common. It's easy to port your application to Linux, OS X, mobile, etc. Right? Argyl's Bloodfast here. Not necessarily stellar against our aggro deck, but without pressure, it could pull them ahead here. Yeah, it's also not just about programming too. It's about support things as well. If you port your software to other platforms, you have to be able to debug issues on them, which has a real cost. You have to factor in, is it worth having support people for an entire new platform? Dailies reset on Thursday, or should I save the next 3 days for levels? They should reset, I believe.
Shine.
You want to do this and do this. We're going to find out tomorrow, happy boys. The Historic Anthology 2 cards appeared on Deckmaster very quickly. If the new set cards don't appear on Deckmaster tomorrow, I'm going to spend part of my day tomorrow, in addition to building deck lists, putting together the fork of Deckmaster so we can make that happen. So it won't be instantaneous because I need to put it through the Twitch approval process. I haven't had the time to set that up yet, but it'll at least happen faster than Deckmaster happened last year. Hopefully they'll just be there right away. It should be trivial for that to happen. But otherwise, we'll get my fork set up. Yeah, the Jeskai deck was good all the way through. It pulled us up into Mythic, isn't tough. We don't really have a lot of sideboard cards here. I think I'm just like swapping in a Klothys because it's removal resistant and clicking submit. Is this hand good, chat? What do we think? What language is Deckmaster written in? It's a mix of JavaScript and Electron Vue for the UI, I believe. Someone else, one of the subs in chat, went through and updated some of the stuff to make it easier for me to put things together. I need to upload the code that they edited for me to my GitHub page. With what they were able to set up for me, it should be fairly trivial to get set up for ourselves if we need to. I mostly haven't done it because time's been tight. With the whole COVID thing that's been going on, Christy and I are homeschooling the kids, like a lot of parents on top of working, so extra time's been extra hard to get. Interesting that they killed Zhur-Taa instead of Pelt Collector there. Seems like a mistake. So they can't Ritualist us yet. So if we draw an untapped land here, they're dead. Oh no, they're at 11 anyways, right? They were dead regardless. Good clean turn for lethal. I don't know, my kids are 4 and 6, so like homeschooling is mostly just like playing educational games and activities. I missed the stream title. Thank you. I thought this was a meme channel. It's a play what I get paid to play channel, freak. We mostly get paid to play good decks, but occasionally people put good things in. And had someone donate to play the winning list from the Open before the Open was done. I agree. As someone who is kind of critical of Burning-Tree Emissary being added to this format, I think it's just another of a variety of powerful things that you can be doing, and I think overall it's more than fine. I'm getting rid of Cleave for now. Yeah, the most formal school thing we're doing with Jake is like obviously mastering writing all of his letters, but then also reading sight words. Just kind of stuff we do anyways. Try to read with them with some consistency even before all this. We might see Klothys punch the clock and go to work here. This card's incredibly good at grinding through these really removal-heavy decks. Just Skywalker's was great. Lot of fun. I agree, Percy. I think this style of deck being the best deck in a format tends to make for a good format. Hey, thanks for the quarter of a year, Redlocks. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Crunch. That's a big boy. Alright, so with this, I want to take their creature out of their bin. General Iru, thanks for the 13 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I trade Gallia for this? I think the answer is yes. Hey, thanks for the tip, Rasmus. I appreciate that. Welcome back. What are the odds of a Gruul and mono red list being added to your favorite historic deck repository? Probably Gruul. We haven't played much mono red though. It's our second or third time playing Gruul in recent memory. Feel like I can probably make that happen. Ritual being their last card is pretty good here. Any haste threat would have been lethal there, basically, right? I guess I didn't quite have enough, and they have this up. They can gain 5 with this at some point. What are our best draws here? Like Spellbreaker? Questing Beast. Yeah, Questing Beast is our best draw for sure. Agree. So they can make this a 6-9 or 8-9. They can give it +3/+3. I did drain. I've drained every single turn, Wolfie. Did I select 0 there? I thought I selected a card, right? I took their spell. So this would only be hitting for 6. We're just going to give this a +1/+1 counter. Yeah, I took there. Don't confuse me. Don't confuse me. I'm confused enough as is on an average day. Don't make me confused. Arcane Nor, thank you for the entire year of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Just keeping me around. Alright, down to 6. Remember that Temple here can sacrifice a creature to give them life equal to toughness. So they do have like a gain 5 on demand here. I think I just trade these. Just like take their lifelink out of play. Would it be worth it to build up devotion? I don't know. Them gaining life every turn is a big deal. I don't think I want to trade this, right? I think I just pass here. I think I'd much rather get Embercleave on this bad Mamma Jamma next turn, right? We just have to fade 2 draws here. Maybe 3. Wow, really surprised they didn't castle there. Really surprised we didn't see them castle. Death Touch with Double Strike, you wouldn't trade. I'm going to give you a 10-minute break so you can consult the board. I feel like this game was a really good example of how powerful Klothys is. This card just did so much damage over the course of this game. Very, very potent. It's not gonna do it. Yep. Yeah, two damage a turn since turn 4. You love to see it, chat. You love to see it. Attack with 45 creatures. Oh, we're coming for that quest, chat. Attack with 45 creatures, you say? Challenge accepted. What is my quest? Attack with 45 creatures? Easy game. Attack with 45 all at once? I don't think we have any Field of the Dead decks today. That one might be a little bit hard. Don't mind me. Just smashing down the line. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, no. Gain 3 life and sweep my board? That's rude. That's rude. Don't do it again. Well, you know. You know. And again, Burning-Tree Emissary, very good, very powerful card. Lots of good, powerful things to be doing in this format. The onion really outdoes itself in these trying times. Postal Service unveils plans to pay its debt with new $1 trillion stamp. It's honestly impressive that the Onion is able to keep coming up with content because, like, reality is pretty strange these days, chat. Trying to make parodies in the current timeline in which we live is no small feat. Killing the Grazer. There's still 1 card short of escaping Uro. It's probably getting another Plaza here. And we had a good start. I think we need to hit our 3rd land at some point to win this game. A little bit too far gone now. We can still win if we run off some lands. Disagree. Ready to blast some runes, chat? Ready to cash it in? I think I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to trade Bonecrusher Giant for this one. I guess Domri's Ambush is probably fine. Killing Golos seems important. I'm 3... I was 3 turns away from questing Beast with Cleave on it. Which is, like, pretty far away. They're gonna put a lot of things into play fairly quickly. I'm supposed to mulligan that. Ugh. Close 7 into unkeepable 6 every single time. Never not. I'm gonna keep this at 5 and hope to draw land on 2. I'm gonna concede if we miss our land again next turn. Just how magic goes sometimes. The key is to mulligan to 4. That's how the Gruul deck works. The Nexus player in that game definitely gave up a number of percentage points they didn't have to, right? This is how my games with Gruul go. Yeah, I mean, the Gruul deck is definitely good. Like, it didn't win the tournament by mistake this past weekend. It's all over the constructed ladder. But one of the reasons why Historic is a reasonable format is the Gruul deck's not unbeatable. It has plenty range of hands that are just okay. Shots fire. I mean, it's not really... I hate that mentality about... I hate the mentality about the world in which we live where, like, when you critique and are specific with how you critique... people get upset like it's personal. It's like, no, we can just talk about things that happen that aren't okay without, like, saying, like, we're not saying you're dumb. We're not saying you're a bad person or you're not bright. We're just saying, hey, these things could have gone better and this is why or how they could have gone better. How many points are these decks at? For a $50 donation, you could cut in your 4-color deck sticks. Obviously, it's less than that to get it played on the next stream. Although it would be 2 streams from now. We're not doing Historic on Thursday. Thursday stream's gonna be all standard. Friday's stream will include some historic, and so will Saturday. We're going to do one all-standard day, and then other days we'll get back to at least one historic deck per day. Yeah, opponent must have walked away or something. Looks like their timer's going down. And then the awkward part here is when they run out of timer, it just like does this and auto keeps their hand, and now we have to sit here and wait again. The disconnect at the start of the match takes so long. Oh, or they're back. Okay, sweet. Mirror match probably. Alright, you know, sure. We take those here. Beggars shan't be choosers, chat. And it's actually kind of worth noting that, like, we did this, and we're actually kind of behind, right? Like, these tutus just aren't useful in the face of questing bees. Yeah, I mean, we played 3 2-mana creatures, but, like, this is a pretty below-rate creature as far as destructive playable things are concerned, right? I'm going to double block here, and I'm going to get Embercleave that I'm going to concede. Just a 2-for-1 deal. We take those. Does her hand just like a bunch of nothing? Their hand must just be a bunch of nothing, right? Oh, yeah, that's true. Their hand auto-kept on the timer. That's a good observation. I forgot about that. So, I think we actually pull Burning-Tree Emissary out in the mirror. We just want, like, Lava Coil, Lovestruck Beast, other things that go a little bit bigger. Thrashing Brontodon sounds good. We'll pull Gallia out on the draw. I'm going to trim an Embercleave on the draw. So, what I ended up doing, and this was because I wasn't thinking about how the double elimination would work, Black Sheep for reals, and moving forward, this is what we're going to do. I ended up extending prizes down to... I extended prizes down to everybody that got a certain number of match wins. And I think that's going to be the plan moving forward. Like, I'm going to give some specific prizes to, like, the top 3 players, I think. And then past the top 3 players... we'll extend prizes based on a total number of match wins, so that way people aren't edged out based on tiebreakers. It does, yeah. If you check in the subscriber Discord server, I posted details in the announcements channel. Black Sheep for real. I believe it was top 12. Top 12 ended up getting deck submissions. Double check. I believe it was 12 was the number offhand. I don't have it in front of me, but everybody that got something is in the announcement section on Discord. This might be wrong. The problem with just, like, playing my own Bonecrusher here is that if they have a Domri's Ambush or removal spell for this, I get really far behind. They brought in Cindervines. Interesting. I suppose that's good against Cleave. Ooh, that's a good one. Ha! It does. It is, in fact, a non-creature spell. Fair. You got top 256. You did better than that. You got top 180. Ooh, that's a good one. Holding control when you close a window will tell windows to remember its position. Really? That's good to know. Thanks, Mike. It's a good tidbit. Alright, so I've been thinking about ways to monetize the opens extra. What would we think of if I sold the rights to be the primary feature match in the first 2 rounds? Is that something reasonable? What do we think of that idea? I don't know. I need to figure out a dollar amount, right? It probably wouldn't be. It would be in the interest of capitalism. We would do our best to try and figure out what's the most we could get, right? We could just bid on it every tournament. That could work. Cause being on a feature is kind of like and obviously not everybody would want that, and the rest of the feature matches would be chosen at random. It does probably also likely increase chances of seeing jank. I agree. I think people who are playing piles are probably more likely to be interested in that. Yep. I'll give you $1 million to feature my Nexus Mirror match. Opponent must have had something come up, or they just didn't want to play against us, one of the two. Yeah, deck techs are something I've considered to fill downtime. I think something we're going to explore for the next event is Matt and I are going to get set up to play exhibition matches. So that way, if we finish a round and we don't have any feature matches left streaming, if we finish a round and we don't have any feature matches left to cover, we could show Matt and I playing a match against each other, so there's not just downtime. You definitely don't have to have people on your friends list to play direct challenge matches. That's definitely not how Arena works. That's true too. When I asked people to start streaming if they saw the feature matches were done and they were still playing, that's something that works as well. Yeah, possibly Skunky Glitz, for sure. I think I'm just passing here. I don't think there's a reason to play another creature out into a sweeper. Just Esper control things, huh? Just Esper control things. Cast no spells and die. For those of you just joining us, our opponent cast no spells and conceded because they were playing Esper control and we had a curve. Direct donation using Streamlabs, Michael. I think I'm leading on this because it doesn't get bounced by Teferi. Whew! Esper and Mistland drops, chat, huh? Name that more iconic duo. I'll wait. Who's ready for this one, by the way? Who's ready to get rune blasted, chat? Are you ready, kids? Aye, aye, Captain. I can't hear you. Oh, who kills their land? Do 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 do. Goblin Blaster. Do 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 do. Ba-bee! Don't lie, Twitch chat. I know that gets you going. I know that's what you want to see. I know you like it. Do 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 do. Oh, yeah. Give me that. Give me that sweet, sweet green-red card advantage. Give me that sweet, sweet green-red card advantage. Now, I mean, like, Drunk Owl, if their decks are bad... we would just, it'd just be fast matches, right? It's, like, not really a problem. No, the Azcant is not flipping. We're just killing them before they get to that point, T-Baker. I like the idea of taking some of the money from auctioning the first 2 feature matches and putting that towards the prize pool. That is similar to how Valve funds their tournaments. They like take money from things players buy and like put that into their prize pool. It's not a bad idea. Bottom cleave for now. I don't have a second red any. Bottom cleave for now. I don't have a second red anyways. Laziv. Smells like Kisses combo. Couple of players playing Kisses made deep runs into yesterday's tournament. Archetype's very powerful. So we'll go Gallia, Ambush, Laziv, Attack, draw card, which is great here. Just really solid curve. Urza's Ruinous Blast. Yep. Got another haste creature here. Da, 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 da. Get you later, Torka. Yep, we'll be dipping back into a bunch of standard stuff when the new set drops. As always, schedule is up on my website. Bonecrusher Giant seems quite bad here. Doesn't really kill any of their stuff we really care about killing. Lava Coil does. Klothys is pseudo graveyard hate. And the rest of these seem very good. Yeah, Gallia is super impressive there. What decks am I most looking forward to trying out when IQR launches? I don't know. I haven't sat down to build everything yet. So tonight, after the stream, and then tomorrow while I'm off, I'm going to be spending most of my time building decks. So I will not be live tomorrow, but I will be working all day tomorrow. How excited / scared that WotC has robust support for his drug. I'm super excited. I think the people that think formats become bad because they have a competitive focus, those people are idiots. Formats aren't good or bad because they have competitive support. Formats aren't good or bad because they get optimized. Formats are bad because they're poorly designed, they're poorly managed, their ban list doesn't make sense. That is what makes Magic formats bad. Pioneer didn't become a crap hole because it suddenly got tournaments. Pioneer always had tournaments. Pioneer became a garbage fire because they printed 3 new combos into the format and stopped managing it. Lyra, that's a neat one out of the board. Domri's not too happy about her though. Yep, super rewarded for being patient with the ambush for sure here. Something to note is that my opponent could be Ruinous Blasting us as soon as next turn. What's the difference between a 32-bit client and a 64-bit client? Hopefully, the client being 64-bit means when it leaks memory, it won't run as slow if your computer has enough memory to address. About 32 bits. Alright, so we attack with this and they're forced to chump block, right? 32 applications are only useful if your computer is 200 years old. That's not strictly true. 64-bit applications do require more memory on average, which on computers that are recent but don't have a ton of RAM can be a meaningful difference. Attack with all was lethal if they block anything other than the Smasher. They go to 15. Yeah, you're right. I could have gotten in with the other things. It's a good thing to point out. All right, so they're recasting Lyra here. Good clean Gruul living. Some good clean Gruul living. We're up to 300. We're up to 300. Gosh, if we win a couple more matches with this, maybe we could sit on our rank all season and qualify. Gosh, if Standard's fresh, do I want to play in the qualifier tournament if we qualify? Yeah, this latter season qualifies you for a Mythic Invitational qualifier. It qualifies you for an actual thing. This is not a gem CQ, I don't believe. I believe next month can qualifies you for the real thing. Gruul. What's the timer for? The historic ladder turns off when the new set releases. Do I want to play an MCQ? I have no idea, Percy. I mean, if the standard format doesn't suck, I would love to play it. If the standard format sucks, I don't care about the prizes enough to play it despite the format being bad. I skipped playing the last two because this current standard format is not something I find enjoyable. But the standard format changed very drastically with the release of Theros, and it could be changing very drastically again with the new set coming out this Thursday. If MTGA is going to be 64-bit, do I need to download more RAM? Yes. If they attack with Steamkin, just Steamkin, I'll trade. If they attack with everything, I'll eat a Fervent Champion. They attack with nothing. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, they don't have Cleave. We got that going for us. I keep holding full control because my hotkey to toggle my mute involves the control and shift buttons. Their hand was empty when they started this turn, so naturally I assume we're about to get Embercleaved. Do we trim Emissary in this matchup? I think we trim Emissary. You want to get rid of all the Cleaves and just be the control deck? I can see that. Lukewarm take. Both Cleave and Nexus are fine in this format. Legacy deck this morning was very bad. Felt really underpowered and clunky. The games where Chalice didn't get drawn or didn't resolve, we just didn't do a whole lot. Alright, we take those. I'm happy with how we boarded. Let's just run it back. We'll be playing Legacy, Eldrazi Stompy. I don't think that's strictly true anymore, Black Sheep, for real. When we were still working through the Pioneer queue, I think that was very true. But I think since I've worked through the backlog of Pioneer submissions, the average Modern and Legacy deck that we played has been very reasonable. In fact, I think since we worked through the queue and I upped the price to put in submissions, today was the first day I've said the deck sucked for the morning. So do we play Lovestruck Beast here, or do we just coil this? I think the answer is just coil. The problem here is that we keep taking hits from these Fervent Champions is the issue. Like, if we don't coil, we get destroyed by Embercleave. But you might be able to formulate a reasonable argument that we can't beat Cleave anyways. To the person who asked, I'm super down to play Vintage Storm. Tank, play Lethal Burn Spell. Feels mono red man. Feels mono red man. On turn 2, we could have ambushed a champion if we hadn't made the 1/1. I think that would have been better with the Coil Brontodon in hand, a more controlling game. So the reason why I made the 1/1 on turn 2 was because I think if my opponent plays literally anything other than Annex on 3, I want to play Lovestruck Beast on 3. And I wanted to get my 1/1 out of the Lovestruck Beast so that way the Lovestruck Beast could attack at some point. And, like, I know it sucks that they had, like, Annex into second must-answer things, so we got really punished for my line, but I think, on average, my line is correct. They're not always going to play Annex on the third turn. Hey, Michael, thank you for the very generous biddies. For four color fires to cut in. Sounds excellent. Chain Whirler Torbrand is very, very good. For sure. I'm gonna cut Llanowar Elves actually against their Chain Whirler deck, I think, rather than cutting other things. It's very, very powerful. Huh. I guess this is decent against, like, my Spellbreakers and stuff. It's an interesting card. They can play it in the late game and have it be big enough to, like, trade with Questing Beast, which is neat. I'm doing all right, Dylan. Doing all right. It's a good pickup. It's good against Green Trawler. Seems okay. Doesn't get bounced by Teferi either. Makes sense. So probably don't want to trade Questing Beast for the Bonecrusher. Would love to draw a Cleave, but unfortunately we boarded those out. I think I take this trade. Because I don't have Cleave to draw to because I boarded them out. I think I take this 3-for-1. Slim the board down. It just straight up stops lifelink on the Trawler. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. You play it out as even a 1-1 and they don't lifelink. Goodbye, friend. Opponents add 4 lands and 13 cards. Pretty good. Stomp your face, doo-doo. Play my giant, doo-doo. How'd the Historic Tournament go? Excellent. Wildly exceeded my expectations on every front. Super pleased with the result. You're going to be doing a monthly Hoaglandia tournament moving forward. In fact, the next open is going to be fairly soon with the new standard set, the new Magic set coming out in 2 days. We're actually going to do the next one on the 25th. One of my favorite events to both play and watch always was the week 1 SCG Standard Open. So without that taking place because of everything that's going on in the world right now, I think having our own large standard tournament with some coverage Seems like a good drop in. Yeah, super dead to a Stiff Breeze here. They have another Torbrand. Can we call it the Hooglandia Open Online Tournament Series, or Hoot for short? Or Hoot for short? I feel like I'm in for that. Oh, Hoots. Yeah, it totally abbreviates to Hoots, doesn't it? I don't know. It's Gruul. As Arctic's been running around the format, it's one of the better decks of the format. This specific list won the Open Series on Sunday. The thing I always highlight about this deck is if you're a fan of playing efficient, aggressive decks, I think this is the best choice in Historic. If you're a Spike, I think this is a great deck to be playing. The deck's not super interesting, though. A lot of the decisions you make with a deck like this are how you sideboard and how you mulligan. Your actual decisions game to game tend to be fairly scripted. Being the most mana efficient as possible, attacking with the most things possible is generally the correct play. So if you're someone that's looking for a lot of micro decision in game, this isn't a great choice, but if you're looking to just like run people down and play an efficient, powerful deck, I think this is a great choice. If you're looking to climb up the ladder here into Mythic on the last couple days of the Historic ladder before that rotates out on Thursday, I think this is a great choice for doing that. All right, we had to cut the line for 4-color fires, so we're going to be playing a couple more Historic decks before we're done with Magic yet today. I need to run to the restroom and put my Invisalign back in, because I did just eat a snack, and I also need to get that deck imported. So we're going to have a little bit longer break than normal, probably 4 or 5 minutes before we start the next match. I'll be back in just a few. Thanks for hanging out today, folks. Don't go anywhere.